It has been a unfortunate kind of season, I guess. I got ill start of the year with flu before trials, so that cut out a lot of my racing beforehand. Then after trials, I felt really good after trials, and then went straight into training camp, broke my foot doing a bloody side lunge, which wasn't the best way to break a foot. But since then I've adapted, I've learned, I've overcome, and I couldn't have worked harder. I couldn't have put more into my preparation than I've currently put in. And now it's about, okay, a home crowd in Birmingham, let's have it. And especially these last few months where I haven't had the smoothest ride, that something has been taken away from me. Obviously, I saw my World Championship title being taken away without any control over that. And that's given me a new lease of life. It's given me hunger that, I thought was missing. It's had its ups and downs like any journey. And especially after Olympics, where that was a 5-year block of work. That was a very, very tough block. And I'm just about recovered from that now. So, I feel good. I feel fresh. I feel my mind is ready to go. And I've got no expectations on where I need to be at Commonwealth. So I'm just going to go see where I'm at, put some markers down, and hopefully we can bounce on into Europeans. When you spend hundreds of hours on a watt bike with a broken foot, it makes you think about, what you want out of the sport and what you're doing. And when you spend a lot of time with different people trying to chase different numbers, there's a block. I was out of the water for like 6 weeks, pretty much, from doing anything. And I only started doing breaststroke really, 3 weeks ago. So, it's been a very different approach, but I've loved it. I've loved every second. And that's made me feel fresher because I've loved what I'm doing. It's like any job. If you find a joy in it and you find a stimulus, then you're going to be happier and you're going to feel less weight, I guess. Yes, without my control, yeah, and without pretty much, without Mel down my throat, pretty much. It's a very long block to have out of the water, but for me as well, I've understood that you don't need to be in the water. Swimming, as we've always seen, it's very traditional. You need to put the meters in. You need to do 10K a day. You need to do this. I'm like, no. Like, you look at other sports and how they adapt and how they overcome, and other athletes who have had injuries and have completely gone away from it, and they come back stronger and faster. So for me, I think you've got to stem everything with belief, and you've got to stem everything with the process and the training. So instead of going 180 heart rate or 194 heart rate in the pool, I'm doing it on a watt bike, or I'm doing it on the ski erg. So you just change it up completely. And I found a way. I found a way. Over the last 2 years, maybe 3 years, that everything has been taken away from us as athletes, in terms of the crowds, in terms of the raw, in terms of what makes me do what I do. I like walking out there with my head up, embracing the crowd. But when you take that away, it's weird. I don't like it. And is that true sport, performing without a crowd? I wouldn't say so, because that is the mix of the athlete. If you're performing in front of 10,000 people or in front of no one, some athletes are going to find it easier to perform in front of no one. But I really feel the true athletes do it in front of anyone, in front of any crowd, and you embrace that crowd. And Birmingham for me is, I'm a Uttoxeter lad. I live in the East Midlands. I've said this before. I'll probably die in the East Midlands, but it's still 50 minutes from my home. And Birmingham is as close to home as it's ever going to get for me, for a very good crowd. And I can't wait to see those flags up. I think Project Immortal for me is, for people that don't know, it's a time that no one else can reach. 56.8 is very high up there that, probably won't be touched for a while. But I'm talking about ever. And, for me, I wouldn't be swimming if I knew that I couldn't break the world record again. It's just not enough for me to stay in a sport and win and win and win in terms of a championship. It is, but it isn't at the same time. For me, I'm all about human excellence, pushing the body and the mind as far as it can go. And that is extremely tough, but that's exactly where I thrive, in those tough, uncomfortable moments. So I think, I'm still going for it. I know that, but it's going to be a 2-year kind of mission now, where how do we get that perfect performance in Tokyo, in Paris, but also between that, how do we potentially push for other world records? I'll be doing World Short Course this year in Melbourne. I think it is, or in Australia. And, that'll be a good one as well, to get out there and stay out there for 2 months and train out there. So we're looking at the investment now is all about Paris and these Commonwealth Games, the Europeans, the World Championships next year. Hopefully, all go ahead and there's all full crowds. That's a preparation for Paris now.